My name's Lucas Euser. I was born and raised in Napa, California, and currently reside in Boulder, Colorado. So I started racing bikes when I was relatively young. When I was 6 or 7 years old, I was on the BMX track in Napa, California. By the time I was 13, I was racing mountain bikes at Skyline Park at the World Cup in Napa. And in 2010, I joined Team SpiderTech. I've been a professional road cyclist for about 6 years now. What got me on a mountain bike first, the BMX was just kind of a fun thing as a kid. I didn't really take it too seriously. But what got me out on the mountain bike first was actually a school teacher at the middle school I went to. He started a mountain bike club and got a dozen or so of us out on mountain bikes. And little did I know it was a sport that I was going to fall in love with. When I first started racing bikes, I had a ton of mentors around me. I had people that had been in the sport for a long time, knew where the sport was going to go, and recognized that I had a little bit of talent. So my mentors weren't professionals. They weren't somebody I read about in magazines. They were people that reached out to me personally and that I made a personal connection with, and they helped me throughout all the steps of becoming a professional cyclist. And I was lucky to have them, but I was also respectful for what they were giving me. So it was a reciprocal relationship, and they've now stayed my best friends throughout my entire professional career. When I describe myself as a rider, I guess the most general answer is to call myself a climber. People look at me and they look at my size and they say, oh, you must be a climber. But I feel like I have a lot more to give than just being a climber. I'm aggressive, I'm intelligent, I know how to race my bike, and I can plan scenarios in my head and also plan for things to not go right. I adapt to all sorts of situations. I like to help the team, and I like to lead the team, not necessarily from a physical standpoint, but more from maybe a mental and emotional standpoint, where we can all learn how to get along and race as a team together. I might not be the best rider out there, but I can help bring guys together. One of the best parts about professional cycling and riding a bike is the physical challenge that it offers. It allows us to push ourselves to limits that we aren't sure if we can go to. And in becoming a professional cyclist, you push those limits further and further and further, and it's always a challenge. So every day you go out there and there's something new to conquer, and that right there is kind of the essence of cycling. You know, we can all do that. We can all go out there, no matter what level we're at. We can go out there, push ourselves, and conquer any challenges we might have. A positive moment in my career, I think, was in 2010 when we went to the Vuelta Mexico. The Vuelta Telmex, I think, was the title sponsor. We were racing against teams that really didn't have anything. You know, they were coming up from these grassroots levels, and they had bare bones equipment. They had broken helmets. They had mismatched clothing, and as professionals, we kind of lose touch with where we came from, and we lose touch with how we got to where we are. And going back and seeing these up and coming teams like working their butts off to race with us and to race with a higher class of riders in this UCI race was really impressive to me. And I remember watching this guy the entire race. He had his helmet was literally shattered. Like, it was completely unsafe to be riding. He had obviously had an accident recently because he was pretty beat up. But the team didn't have money to give him a new helmet. So the second the race ended, I rode over to him and handed him the helmet off my head. And he almost came to tears, and his entire team gave me a hug. So those are the moments that make us appreciate what we do. My biggest setback in my career clearly came in May of 2009 when I was hit by a car. I was training in Girona, Spain, and the car kind of came out of nowhere. And we deal with those elements just like everybody else does. And unfortunately, it disrupted my career path. But on the other end, I gained a perspective I never would have gained before. I gained knowledge and experience I didn't know I could gain from a traumatic experience. And in that, I built myself into not only a stronger person, but a better person. I'm structurally more sound. I'm physically more fit, and I'm mentally there to push myself further and further. SpiderTech tape for me has saved my career. It's been a tool that I've used since my injury, and it's helped me through every step of the way. I have it on right now, and I really haven't taken it off since 2009. I found the product in December of 2009, about 6 months after my accident. It rapidly got me into riding more, in the gym more, and physically feeling more better. And in turn, mentally, that made me want to push myself. And in turn, that helped save my career and get me to racing by May of the next year. So 1 year after my accident, when people told me I should still be learning how to walk, I was racing top 20 in the Tour of California. And I can pretty much point that back to SpiderTech. I mean, I had my own personal ambition, I had my own personal perseverance, my hard work, but with SpiderTech, together, we made that happen. I personally use multiple different applications. Clearly, I use the knee spider, but if you go back to pictures in 2010, you could pretty much see my entire leg wrapped up, because it doesn't just affect one area. You kind of have to protect all areas. Your body is connected. There's chains running up and down your body where even if you have a neck spider on, it could potentially help your ankle. There are those chains that you don't know about. That if you start looking into that world, you realize how much we are just one unit. And SpiderTech tape helps bring that unit together.